Yeah, we're live.
Come on, man.
Oh, you're not introing these videos with that. All right. We get it.
Don't call it a comeback.
I'm
We're
gonna screen
back.
record that, and I'm gonna
We're
just
back.
clown you. We're
We're
back,
back.
in the Get Up Podcast. Nah,
But this isn't the Get Up Podcast.
I know. We might have to change the name to this podcast. We might need to make it more catchy.
The MVP Podcast.
MVP, Strong Body, Strong Mind Podcast. I don't know. We'll think of something. All right, we're back.
All right.
How we doing?
Always great. How
I'm
are you?
doing great. I'm doing great.
That's great to hear.
See what I just got put up for?
What?
You see what I just got put up for?
Game changer.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean,
Finalist.
you always are a game changer.
Finalist
So,
academically.
academically.
Yes. Pretty smart. So
Uh.
maybe I'm not that dumb.
Maybe.
Sometimes.
All right.
All right. What are we talking about today?
Today we're gonna be talking
Talk
about.
about whatever you want, but
Yeah. You want to start with some things about privacy?
oh, this is something that you wanted to talk about even separately from a podcast.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it.
All right.
So,
Keeping your goals to yourself.
okay, I'll tell you what I think, but what do you think first?
No, I'll let you take the show.
All right,
Game
I'll take the
changer.
show. I think it's very stupid to tell your goals, especially if they're big, because I think Bryce Harper had a quote where it was like, if people aren't laughing, then they're not big enough. So like, you should get people to like shake a little bit, like be worried. But when you tell somebody a goal, you open yourself up for negativity. So you gotta be ready for that and ready to just block that out and just like block it out or use it to your advantage. I think that might have been a problem that you had telling everyone your goals and
Yeah.
like you could be talkative but not
You-
what you know.
Yeah,
not
you
over
know,
the
looking
top
back
crazy.
on it, I made a few mistakes.
It's fine. You're young.
Live and you learn. But
Exactly.
yeah, you know, I
Exactly.
believe,
And now you don't have to make them in the future.
yes. You know, I believe, you know, you should always set your goals extremely high to what you want them to be. But, you know, you should expect that people aren't going to have faith in you.
Be ready for that, yeah. But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. You just need the faith in yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also when you said like live and you learn, everything you do first time, it's never gonna be right. I'm sure our first podcast wasn't good. And I'm sure as we keep doing this we're gonna get better and better at it, but
Yeah. I mean,
but
there's
you
a
have
reason
to
some
take that
people were-
initiative.
I mean, there's a reason why some people are 8 hitters and then they turn into 3 hitters.
You have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You have to start somewhere.
I mean, you could have started in a long sleeve shirt with a helmet sticker as your t-shirt.
What?
I'll find it.
No, it's okay, I believe you.
Ah,
I believe you. I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever.
all right.
But do you get the point?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you understand the lesson?
Yeah. You
I
know,
think that's
I
valuable.
also think you can't overhype yourself. You know, when you don't have anything to prove.
Well, it's not about proving.
Yeah, I mean, nothing that you've shown yet, in a way.
True. You need a basis to go off of.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you're just like, you look like an idiot. But there's also nothing to show. You're not tested. Nothing is a test.
Yeah.
Because
You know, like calling yourself the MVP.
yeah, you know me. Yeah, but you know, see, like that's a mistake, but it's okay. You don't have now. You know not to make claims.
Yeah.
Or you could still talk, but you need to be able to back it up.
Yeah.
I have babies right now, so
Sorry.
What was that? why are we playing Little Baby?
I was trying to find something as we speak.
Oh, you were looking for the MVP video?
No. I'm looking for the helmet sticker as a t-shirt video.
What do you mean?
You and the freshman tryouts.
Oh. Everything you do first time's not good. I'm sure I looked like an idiot freshman. First day tryouts freshman year, but
You
I
still
played
do.
good.
You still wear the same shirt.
I still look like an idiot. It's alright. Top 15 in the state for academics. Student athlete. Could you believe that? It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, I feel stuck in the sideline right now watching you.
No, you're under my wing. Why do you have a spit cup?
I'm spinning seeds right now.
Actually?
No.
Alright. Whatever. You better not have like any of that like bad things.
I don't do those bad things.
Okay, good, because that's usually why people need a spit cup.
Mm.
Good. Same. I've never smoked, never drank, never did anything.
Me too.
Good.
You know, I believe in I think very highly of myself, and I don't think I should do that to ruin any chances that I have at being successful.
I perfectly agree with that. Why would I put something in my body that's gonna hurt myself?
Exactly.
Like, there's just no respect.
Yeah.
I respect myself, so I wouldn't put something that's I know is toxic to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like, why would you jump in the shark pit?
For a fun time. People get distracted by that temporary pleasure, that temporary fun. But at the end of the day, your liver's bad, and we're in the same spot.
Yeah.
Just because you had some little extra fun, which I don't even think you need substances to have fun. But like, I believe in a natural high from achieving something.
You know what's fun?
What? Winning.
Push-ups.
Push-ups. A natural high from achieving. Look, so if I do push-ups, right, I'm gonna get a natural high, and at the end of the day, I get something. I get strength.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what do they get?
High.
Well, they get a high, but they're still the same person, if not worse.
Yeah.
And then that leads you into a cycle. That leads you into a cycle of having to go back for that temporary pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah, really, they just are trying to find fulfillment, but it's not there. So they're just.
Yeah.
That's how companies make a lot of money.
Yeah.
People keep going back for the new phone, the new shoes.
Yeah, but you know, I think something that also helps to do with this is like having good people around you, encouraging you to, you know, stay.
Not showing you the bad things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about the power of encouragement?
I think it's great. I think what you surround yourself with could either make or break you.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I guess it's to an extent it's what you allow. Like, because it's all from the inner side, so it's all from you.
Yeah.
But I mean, it really helps.
Yeah.
Have somebody pick you up in a bad time. Like, it could be a stepping stone.
Yeah. You know, I think when it comes to things like who you surround yourself with, you know, what you hear, what you read, what you listen to, you know, what you watch, what you visualize, things like that.
Yeah.
You know, like just that encouragement that you'll like see, like in a podcast, you know, can really boost you up, you know?
Yeah, if you tell yourself I suck and I'm gonna fail, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
Do you wanna hear something crazy? Like a
What?
really, really cool, I don't know if it's cool, but like, I guess it's a cool law. So,
All right.
let's just think about this, ready? If I put a wood plank on the floor, right, and I
Yep.
told you to walk across it, you
Mhm.
walk across it just fine. It's a wood plank, you're just walking. You're not thinking, you're just doing the action.
Yeah.
If I put that same plank, no strings attached, nothing, put that same plank 50 feet in the air, the chances of you falling, you're going to fall.
Yeah.
Because you're telling yourself,
'Cause you
don't
think you're
fall,
gonna fall.
don't fall, don't fall. You're going
Yeah.
to fall.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty crazy how it works. Instead of just like, even if it was 50 feet in the air, you just walk across, don't think, just walk, you're good.
Yeah, you know, if you think don't pop up, don't pop up, don't pop up, you're gonna pop up.
Don't strike out, you're dead.
Yeah.
100%. In the pitcher, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You just struck
You know,
yourself
you
out.
can just dot fastballs on the outside corner all day.
You can just put it down the middle. If you're thinking don't strike out, you're not going to hit that pitch.
Yeah. No, I was giving a reference to what our pitcher on Monday was giving a lot of our hitters trouble with.
It works.
Yeah.
You don't need to do. You don't have to be crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can literally just, depending upon like the team and your pitcher, sometimes you can just set up down the middle. They can't hit it.
Yeah.
But don't do that. But still.
All right. How do you keep your composure in high-level situations?
Okay. Do you want me to take the? What do you think about it? And I'll add on to.
All right.
I'll finish it off.
I think you just have to put yourself in a different place mentally. Like I believe in you don't rise to the occasion, you sink to your level of training.
Where'd you hear that from? Did you get that from me?
I heard that from Anthony Anembo.
I love that quote.
And
I think that quote.
Along with that, if you go when you're in a high level situation, if you're not thinking, oh yeah, facing one of the best pitchers in the county, and I don't want to strike out. I'm gonna try and rise to this level. It's not about that. It's about you're gonna go back to the trenches when you're doing push-ups at 1 a.m, things like that.
And that will show in the.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I didn't even. Even though I love that quote, I didn't even think about that quote when referencing this topic that you brought up. You good?
Yeah, I'm eating Sour Patch Kids.
This is good.
Shout out Sour Patch Kids, please sponsor us.
Sponsor.
Right
They're
now,
making you choke though.
The Easter ones.
Cool. Easter Bunny come?
Yes, he did.
Awesome. We love him.
All right.
Where was I? I was talking about
high pressure situations.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't even think of that in one of my favorite quotes right there. You don't rise to the occasion, you sink to the level of your training. I think that's a Marine quote. I didn't even think of that though. I was thinking of more I don't believe in a high pressure situation. I believe that you you go for every single situation the same. Whether it's the ninth inning or the first inning, my approach is the same. Nothing changes. Yeah, I need a hit in this time more, but I always want a hit. I'm always going for a hit. I'm never.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't matter what the situation you're in, who's watching, things like that.
I agree. It's always the same. Perfect example.
Exactly.
Perfect, yeah. You hope to do good in a high pressure situation at the right time with the right people watching, but sometimes it's not how it is.
Yeah, but I think it's even more important how you carry yourself after that.
I would agree. Agree. And you don't let one go into the other.
I know, and you can't take yourself out of whatever situation you're in.
Yeah, I know a kid. Haven't seen him in a while. He had a bad first at bat, top of the first inning, bad first at bat. Out for the whole game. He couldn't play. He couldn't field. He couldn't hit. That one at bat ruined his other 3 at bats. Like he should make each at bat their own at bat and leave the result there, good or bad. Next.
Yeah, which goes back to what we talked about in our last video about always being 0 for 0.
100%. 0 for 0.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm batting right now. 0 for 0. That's what I believe I'm batting 0 for 0 right now. That's what I am.
Yeah.
And mentally, that keeps me in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
I'm not stressing, oh, I need to hit this up. I remember my freshman year, I was like, no. I think it was last year. Okay, yeah, it was last year. So I was trying to get to 50 hits. Really bad, right? I had a friend that got to 50 hits. We were talking about it. And I was at, let's just say, 45. And
I was there for the 50th hit.
Yes, sir, you were. Against Ramsey. So I was really trying to get to 50, right? There was only a couple games left. So let's just say I needed let's just say I needed 5 hits in 3 games.
I remember that was literally the end of the season.
Yes, it was coming down to the wire. Am I going to get this 50? So I got 23 my freshman year, so I needed 27, right? So I was really, really fighting. And I was like calculating. I was like, if I get 4 at-bats a game, I have to bat like 200. I have to, whatever. I was doing all this crazy math. And at the end of the day, just realized 0 for 0, and then I beat the 50. I got to 55. No, yeah. I got 32 hits last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't need to calculate. You don't need to scout out the pitchers. You don't need to
Scout out.
like
Don't scout the competition. Make the competition scout you.
100%.
I wonder where I got that quote from.
That's why I love these quotes, bro. And kind of what I tell you, like, don't try to figure out the varsity roster for next year. Like, I think he's gonna play there. He's gonna play there. No, you choose a spot, and you go beat the person out that has that spot. I don't care where he's playing. He's playing. Pick, choose, and earn. 100%.
Yeah. All right.
What else we got?
Here's a topic that I want you to start with.
Okay. Is it on the dock?
Be where your feet are.
Be where your feet are. Yeah, that came from. That's one of the chapters from this book right here.
Chop will carry water.
Did you ever
Wait,
read
time
it?
out. We need a talk. We need a timeout. What do you mean, doc?
Document? We have
What
we
document?
have a document.
Ah.
We're allowed to tell the people this. We have a document of the topics we're gonna discuss on the podcast.
You know, I don't think we have a lot of mental fortitude to be using a document instead
What
of
do you mean?
from
Well,
using this.
you think when we're talking about this, we're reading off a doc? No, we have an outline to guide us, but we just go on.
Use your temporals right here.
No, say the thoughts you truly believe about the topics.
Yeah.
We don't need to. You think a teacher, when she gets in front of the class, she wrote down every single word she's gonna say?
No, sir.
No, she's not thinking like what we shouldn't do in baseball. Not thinking, just talk and let it eat. You know, when you throw your
Yeah.
curveball, let it eat.
Throw it like a fastball.
Well, I'm not a pitcher. I don't know. I'm a catcher. You know, like when we were saying like who you surround yourself with.
Yes.
So you know how Alex Kranzer was a great like mentor, like a great
Yes.
influence on me my freshman. He took me under his wing. That's kind of what I'm trying to do to you. I was sitting in the back of his car, so we were going to an hour away to Total Arm Care pitching facility. For him, even though I was 14, for him to teach me how to catch a Vanderbilt pitcher.
I remember you telling me the story.
Yeah, that's how I found this book.
Yeah.
That I've read like 3 times, did a book report. I absolutely love it. I was sitting in the back seat and he had it in his thing. And I took a picture of it. And I love it.
Hey, did you see 2 of your other close freshman buddies were over at the game against Ramsey?
Yeah. It's always cool to see when they come back.
Yeah, I did not introduce myself. Very.
Why? You scared?
I was starstruck. I saw 3 alumni.
Shout out Richard Gutschmidt.
I did see Richie G too.
Shout
I
out
was
Richie
sitting
Rich.
next to Richie G.
Shout out Richie. Is that who you're talking about?
No,
Oh, then I don't know.
Joffrey and Cooper were standing right behind the dugout.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see them.
Yeah, they gave Lou a big hug. They went up to Selden.
Oh, I didn't see them.
Yeah.
Oh, I like them. Yeah, I really didn't see them whatsoever. I was in my own world.
Yeah.
Playing the game, you know?
Mhm. And I think going on to that. So you want to continue with that? Be where your feet are.
Oh, we totally forgot about that topic.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
I had no clue. Oh wait, I do know what that means.
Actually,
It's
it
about-
kind of just goes into what we were just talking about. But,
It's about how you want to be where you are, not like thinking you're above someone, thinking you're below someone.
not really.
What about timeline wise? Be where you are right now.
It's more timeline wise. So, like where you just said, like I didn't see Joffrey and Cooper behind the dugout. I was where my feet are. I'm focusing on the present moment of this game.
Mm.
Fortunately, it didn't go well on a personal,
Yeah, but there's
personal
nothing.
and team level. But like still, I was still present.
Yeah, there's nothing you can really do on the situation. You can't throw the bunt away.
I did that one time freshman year. So like you know how you say like how we said before in this podcast like first time doing anything's never gonna be perfect.
Yes.
First ever bunt freshman year. It was like maybe third game in the season. Like my spot wasn't. I had my spot, but it wasn't solidified yet. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still making a name for myself. Bunt. I picked it up. I airmailed that thing to first base. Like I didn't even throw it over. Wally. It was terrible.
Yeah.
This is first base. Bang. I had to hear about that the next practice. People were just making fun. But I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
My arm's good now.
Good here.
Bang.
Bang.
Right over the bag.
Yeah.
That's about like not letting like your past at bats, leaving the past in the past, not worrying about the future because you can't control it. Just where your feet are.
Yeah.
Where
You know,
are.
like I think being where your feet are can also be something where like you're not thinking about the season ahead, you're thinking about the training right now.
Yeah. I mean, I have a game tomorrow. I'm not thinking about it right now. I'm thinking about this podcast.
I'm thinking about my game tomorrow because if we don't win tomorrow, we don't make the county tournament.
Okay. Yeah. But you're hearing this podcast right now, so if you're thinking about the game tomorrow, I mean, it's fine. Realistically, in this scenario, it's fine. But you're taking away from the ability to have a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, let's just say, in a more serious example, last period tomorrow in school, I have a math test, right? And during that math test, I'm focused on my game the next after school.
You can't think about that. You got to think about the math
I have
test.
to do this math. I'm gonna fail this class. I'm not. But like I have top 15 student athlete in the state. Go vote NewJersey.com. But like, you know what I'm saying.
Link in bio.
Wait, link in description.
So, I want you to tell me something.
What's up?
Do you believe nothing is a test or is everything a test?
Nothing's a test.
Nothing's a test.
Nothing's a
so
test.
I want you to explain that to me.
Okay. This is another topic in this book. So I love this book, bro. Nothing is a test because if you see it, everything is a test. It's pass or fail. You're just gonna try to get the bare minimum. You're really just looking to do that good. But if you see it as an opportunity to learn and grow, you're actually gonna like maximize. You're gonna go over the bar. You're gonna maximize your potential instead of just trying to do the bare minimum to get through.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense to me.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have? Let's not say any names here, but do you have any classes that you don't truly care about the material, but you're just doing it because it's a test? I do. Could be honest.
I have one.
You're just doing it because you have to for the grade. You're just doing it because it's a test.
Yes, but that's also because I need it to graduate.
Okay, but still. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? And on the
Yep.
flip side, something that you see that could actually better yourself and like, you know.
I do have one of those classes too.
Yeah, where you actually try, you know.
Yeah, sure, I
don't
might
go
not
through the
succeed
motions.
all the time in this class, but
But you're not going through the motions. You're actually trying to
we're both in this class.
actively. Oh. I don't see it like that. No names,
You
no
don't
names,
see
no
me
names.
trying, or you don't see it as being
No
useful.
names, no names, no names. Well, I don't want to do it in my future, so.
Well, I think it's good, like, some parts of it to the point where, you know, it might be able to benefit me for multiple reasons.
Well,
A,
that's what you're thinking about.
it looks great on transcripts.
That's
B,
not that's seeing it as a test, but all right.
and B, it's going to help me for the future on things like, you know, if I continue my athletic career in college, I know how to take care of myself injury-wise. I learn more about nutrition. I learn more about, like, strength programs and things like that would actually help me.
Okay, but you just said I want to see it on the transcript. That kind of defeated the purpose of what
That was half a point.
That's you brought up 2 points. That was half. 50% is a pretty good amount.
50% a failing grade.
Batting 500 is a your old state. But Yeah, that just took away from the exact point we were making. Like, I'm not doing this to look good. I'm not doing this to pass. I'm not doing this for an A. I'm doing this because I want to learn and get better at this topic.
Yeah.
Like, what you do on your free time. Like,
Yeah.
no one tells you to read this book. Are you reading the book?
I did not read the book.
No, I'm not talking about child book here. I'm just saying, like, no one tells you to do this math worksheet. Are you still going to do it because you want to get better at that topic?
Yeah. You know, nobody tells you to, go work out in the off season. Or nobody tells you to hit every day in the off season. But are you still going to because you want to be good?
100%. If your teacher says you don't have a test on this topic, are you going to pay attention in it? Or are you...
Yeah.
I mean, depending upon a lot of things, like how much you like the topic, if you want to pursue the topic, but still, you get the point. Yeah. Do you think there's a purpose in, like... Oh, let me turn my ringer off. Do you think there's a purpose, besides, like, getting smarter and everything, what purpose do you see to school? This isn't on the doc. I'm just like... Do you see an overarching purpose at school, besides, like, getting better at history? Do you see a benefit to history class? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Are you muted? I think you're muted.
I'm not muted.
You sure?
Yes. I can hear myself talking.
I turned my ringer off. I told him I turned my volume off. Vote me, academic student athlete. Finalist in the state. Oh, that's so. Should we?
All right,
do
so,
I? Do I keep that or do I cut that?
Keep it.
Keep it. We're unfiltered here. You see the good with the bad. I'm gonna get.
You got to burn the boats. You got to go all in.
Oh my god! I hope somebody doesn't clip that. All right. So what were you saying?
So I think it depends on what you want to get into.
Actually, I have to make sure that it picked up my audio too. All right, we'll deal with the editing later. What you're saying
figure it out.
Depends on what you want to get into.
Yeah. So like, if someone wants to go be, I don't know, I'll throw something out there, an architect when they grow up, they're gonna need that math class, things like that, which is why I really like that our school has these CTE programs where, you can pick what career you want to get into when you're older, and you can take classes based on that.
Yeah. So, for that architect example you just said, like, do you see, if somebody wants to become an architect, do you see any merit in them taking a history class?
No, not whatsoever.
Really?
Well, actually, wait.
I do. I'm
going to take this back because I believe history always repeats itself.
No. I'm just saying in general. Do you see them having English, whatever? It doesn't matter. Do you see them taking? Do you see any value in a subject that's not in relation to what they want to study?
Well, I think all the subjects have a small part of it. So, right, let's go back to the architect.
Okay.
If they're gonna want to be an architect, they're gonna have to get. I'll go with the English example. They're gonna have to get all of their bills approved to be allowed to start working, and they're gonna need to use, proper good language to write those bills instead of, just writing like a third grader. I want to build house.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking in that sense, but that's a good point. All right, how about this? Architect taking a photography class. Like, there's no relation. That's what I'm trying to say. No relation. Okay.
No reason.
I disagree. I think there is a pretty good, and I'll explain. I was thinking of more in a general sense. So even if the topic doesn't necessarily relate to the subject the field that they want to get into, I think it's still good for them to take it because it helps build traits. Like, for example, like, even though they don't care about English, it helps them with, like, concentration, time management, discipline, like, no procrastination, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, I wasn't thinking about it like that, but now that you mentioned that, I think all classes can give you better qualities.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I take the classes seriously. Like, I do not like history, but I take the class seriously. I study for the test. I do everything I have to do. Even
You're an asset to the class.
I'm still. I think she wrote that on my chance.
She did.
On my thing, I'm an asset to the class because I believe being an asset to that class will make me a better person, and I can apply that into the field that I want to.
Yeah.
So like I truly believe focusing in English class makes you a better baseball player.
I would agree with that. I think the better your grades are, the better you might be as an athlete.
I mean, there's not always necessarily a correlation because you have some good athletes that are very dumb as rocks.
Yeah,
But I
you
think
know,
it helps.
I think there's an extent to that where, you know, someone that's more focused in the classroom is going to be better.
They work on that focus and they can apply it to baseball. They can
Yes.
apply it to. So the architect can apply, like like more than focus too, like perseverance, like all good qualities.
Being personable in a way, too.
Communicating with other people, like
Yes.
dealing with different teachers, dealing with different students. 'Cause
Yeah.
as an architect, you're gonna deal with a bunch of most fields, to be honest. Deal with a bunch of people you don't like, you like, anything.
Yeah.
I still don't like group projects because I don't trust somebody else to do my work. I want to do my work by myself.
Yeah.
So like, if they're gonna do it, I'm double checking it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I like to, not necessarily gonna change the whole thing, but like, see what's.
You're going to fact check it.
Yeah, and if we're both wrong, I deserve the bad grade. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna rely on somebody else. I want to be my
Yeah.
own.
You want to be real, not fake.
I'm the real AO.
Not the
Oh.
fake one.
Instagram, Twitter. I have another. Actually, it's not the real AO YouTube. It's Anthony Numbo on YouTube. I have 2 YouTube channels.
Yep.
Actually, this one's 50-50.
Mm.
Yeah.
Shout out Anthony Onembo, running the NVOT Baseball Instagram. Just posted this beautiful game day post.
I didn't make it. I work with someone to run that, but yes, I'm the only
I think
person
you
that has
work with
access.
2 people in a way.
Maybe I do, but I have access to it. I'm one of the guys that do that. So
You know, I think one person makes them. I think one person helps with you with the music.
oh, cause you just gave me that song today. I mean, that's another thing of just like responsibility. Like, I want to look.
Yeah.
I want to make that. That's what the. So the kid that's helping me with the edits, he was like, "I want to make it look good for the school. I want to make it."
Yes.
So, I mean,
And, you know, I think that's a big trait that both you and the kid that helps you with, both you guys have, is going 100% in everything that you do.
yeah. I'm not gonna do something halfway. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right.
Yeah.
I don't believe in. I'd rather do one thing right than 3 things mediocre.
Yeah. You know, that's why I kind of called you out on last year's post, because I thought that you could do better.
Okay. First time for everything, like we were talking about before.
Yes, exactly.
First time.
But that's why I called
my
you out. 'cause
my posts got better as they went on.
Yeah.
The quality
But,
of the
you know,
edits.
that's again why I brought it up, because I believe you're more capable and you learned from your first tries.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't really troubleshoot our first podcast. Like, we kind of just went into it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess that shows initiative, so we kind of did it right. I guess we don't really need to practice because these are just our beliefs.
Yeah.
But still, you know. What else we got? Do we have anything else on the dock?
We don't have anything else on the dock.
You didn't... Did you ever read Chopwood Carry Water?
No.
Whenever you text me and ask me for advice, sometimes I just send you chapters.
I need to read the book.
I know you need to read the book. I read it like 3 times.
I read Mark Hayford's book. Shout out Mark Hayford. Get Up Podcast.
Is there any topics in that book that you want to discuss?
I'm going to be completely honest.
You
with
don't remember any of it.
No, not
That's
that.
good.
Not that. There's a lot
Is
of
there?
topics. I feel like all the topics are very broad topics.
Yeah, and they all kind of relate to each other. And it's just kind of just like which book has it the most accessible.
Yes.
Do you think there's any value in reading a book and not applying the lessons?
No. I think you need to be able to apply the lessons.
I think knowing the lessons is good though.
Yes.
For
But
sure.
like I think being able to, no matter if it's applying them now or the future. If you're gonna read like no offense to you, if you're gonna go out and read like a Diary of the Wimpy Kid, it's good for your entertainment, but you're not learning any.
Hey, I read the whole series.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
How'd you know that?
I don't know. You told me that, I think.
Did I? I don't even know. I mean, it's better than watching TikTok on your phone or something like that. You're still reading.
You calling me out?
Do you watch TikTok? I don't even have TikTok.
Yeah, because you have a lot of mental fortitude to not be on it.
Yeah, like I could scroll Instagram or whatever, and I could catch myself and be like, "Nah, I'm out."
Yeah.
Some people just like, have you ever heard doom scrolling?
Yes.
They go down a rabbit hole and they're just like scroll. They can't swipe and get out of there.
See, I can swipe. It's a matter of, do I have something better to do?
You could always find something better to do.
Here, let me say this. I'm driving back home after a game from, Kennedy Field. What else am I really going to do?
I mean, I remember my grandma was actually the one that told me this. So we both have a very far bus ride to school in the morning, 45 minutes, I believe, with all the pickups and because we're the first pickup and last drop off. So the bus ride sucks. I remember my grandma was always telling me, utilize that time. And I always, for the most part, majority, I do.
You're a normal utilizer. I see in the mornings you're studying a lot.
You see me? I bring my computer out. I turn my hotspot on.
Yeah, while me, I'm sleeping.
That's not bad. That's really not bad.
Yeah.
I think that's like the second best alternative.
Yeah, it's better than what other people do.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You ready? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You were working hard at night and you lost sleep, and you don't want to burn the candle on both ends.
Yeah. Like, I remember during the winter when I used to sleep, that was big for me because of what I was doing in the morning. So then I wouldn't have to stay up as late at night.
I don't want to say names here, but I know someone who's significantly out of shape, right? And they always say, I go to the gym at 4:30 in the morning, right? And I was just like, really? You go to the gym at 4:30 in the morning?
Are you calling me out?
No, I'm not calling you out.
I
swear to God, I'm not calling you out.
I thought you were calling me out of shape.
No, I'm not calling you out of shape. This person's very fat.
Ah.
This person, and I'm like, first of all, you don't need a gym. We could get into that topic in a second.
Yeah, I the more older that I get, the more I agree with you on that.
I'm a calisthenics person, and I truly believe that. And I believe it's actually way easier than a gym. Not the workouts, the difficulty of the workouts. Like, you're still getting the strain, you're still getting the strength, you're still getting the...
Yeah, like the 2-hour leg workout that can only take 15 minutes.
I could do it in 20 minutes, have my legs shaking to the ground to the point where I can't get up, and I'll be in better shape to the person that drove 20 minutes away, paid $30 a month for a gym membership, and tells everyone they went to the gym at 4:30 in the morning. Like, nobody cares that you go to the gym 4:30 in the morning.
That goes back to our word, heart, and silence point.
Yeah, 100%. You're bragging about something that you have nothing to show for.
Yeah. I
could efficiently do that workout because I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm going to go to failure. Like, I'm going to increase the intensity, decrease the time, get the better workout in, and not have to go through all the...
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. The gym over... calisthenics over gym. I could talk about this forever, but... Why do you... So what do you believe? Gym or calisthenics?
Well, I used to be a big gym guy because I would think, well, with the calisthenics, you're not getting as much weight and things like that. But, after... One
second. Just for reference, calisthenics is like body weight workouts, like push-ups, isometric holds, anything that doesn't. You could use weights, but it's not like traditional resistance training with like bench press, adding like 300 pounds of weight on each side of the barbell. It's really just. I can't turn my ringer off, but it's really just like, your body weight and maybe a dumbbell. But okay,
Yeah.
what were you saying?
But now I feel like, you can get a much better workout with, things like calisthenics. You look back at the cavemen. You'd think they had the big bench presses and the squats.
I'll tell you something in a second.
No, but they could move a big boulder that was twice the size of them.
That is actually perfect. So, I mean, I come from a family of like a lot of law enforcement, and I've been told prisoners are absolutely jacked.
Because they have nothing better to do.
They have nothing to do. They have a lot of probably anger that they're using to just get stronger. And the only thing they had, I'm telling you, I've heard a lot about this, is bags of water. They used to curl bags of water.
Really?
Tie, bench press the bags of water. Like, they have nothing better to do. And really just, all they needed was a bag of water.
Wow.
So I think that goes perfectly with what you're saying. I didn't even think about the cavemen and moving the bricks and.
Yeah. Or like the Egyptians built the pyramids. You think they had a bench press to help them lift all the stuff?
They didn't even have a machine.
Yeah.
They had bare hands.
They had bare hands and push-ups.
Well, they probably weren't even doing push-ups. They're probably just so much lifting bricks and all the manual labor that they had to do at that time probably got them to the point. Like construction workers today, kind of.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay. Another thing I want to mention about calisthenics over gym, I think it's way better because it's easier to be consistent.
Yes.
Like I don't have to go out of my house. I don't have to go to the gym. I could literally just go downstairs, my basement in my room, do push-ups whenever I want. There's no time. There's nobody here. There's so much freedom.
Yeah.
Minimum space required.
Wow, Anthony, you must have a lot of girls.
I really don't.
I thought girls were bad for baseball.
Girls are bad for baseball. We don't want them.
Which I want to bring up that point too.
Girls are bad for baseball. Okay.
No, distractions are bad for glory.
DRBFG.
Mhm.
DRBFG. I agree with that. I was reading like a Stoicism or something, like some Greek philosopher. And it says like as long as they don't get in the way of the pursuit of virtue, then it doesn't matter. But when we reference that girls are bad for baseball, like as long as the girl isn't hurting you or the distraction, as long as you could keep them separate and not let one hurt the other. Sometimes it's
Of course, you're saying that now.
What?
Nothing.
Saying that now?
Yeah.
I never had a girlfriend. Whatever.
I hear someone's helping you get some connections.
Next topic. I don't know. I actually don't even know what you're talking about, but whatever.
Yes, you do. Think about.
Okay. Maybe I know a little bit.
You know exactly what I'm
Next
talking
topic.
about. Accept it.
Next topic.
Accept it.
Your hat's on the wrong way. Coach Corbin.
So is my leg.
Coach Corbin at the Vanderbilt camp said that the direction that your hat is going is the direction your life is going. So by that means, you're becoming a loser. There we go. Now we're professional. There we go. Nope, don't do that.
I did that for Corey Doviak's pictures for.
You copied me. That was my freshman pose. Like when you're always like copying things. Like be original. Do something funny. Like, you know the story. Everyone was doing the chug jug, the Fortnite dance, like drinking water on second base.
And instead of this,
Yeah, everyone's getting on a knee. So our double celly at the time was everyone get on a knee and drink. So I mean, I'm freshman. I'm funny. I'm original. I hit a double. I get I get down on the knee and I start flexing like that. For front page at NJ.com for like 3 weeks in a row, they wouldn't get off that. It was an amazing picture. Man, they wouldn't. They love that picture. I love that picture.
Yeah.
It's in my room. It's next to my bed. Like I love that memory.
It's in your grandma's restaurant.
It's in my kitchen. I cherish that memory. I cherish those times. Yeah.
Time for the last topic.
All right, last topic. What do you want to talk about? Last.
You know what? I'm gonna let you take control for the last topic.
Okay. I don't know what it is.
No, I don't either. So I'm letting you decide because I can't think of one.
We can't think of one. Just end it. There's no. We don't want to put filler. Everything
has a purpose.
Exactly. So when you're typing in English, like an English essay, and you need like a 3-page requirement, and you're only at like 2.5. You
just
typing
typing like random words.
You like change to like in order to for like 2 extra words. Like that's not good.
Yeah. I think everything should have a purpose, no matter what you do. Things like doing those push-ups. You're not just doing them because, oh yeah, I need to do my push-ups every night. You're doing them because you want to be good.
Yes, I specifically chose my hobbies.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't. Just thought of our last topic.
That's good. It comes natural. It's what we believe. We're not forcing it.
Yeah.
We have guidelines, but we're not forcing things. It's just natural.
Yes.
This is a great topic. Let's talk about it. You know what?
Yeah.
We were gonna end it, but let's talk about this topic about the hobbies. Yeah. I chose all my hobbies for a specific reason, like a purpose. Do you have? Yeah. I'll tell you mine in a second. Do you have any hobbies that you chose for a purpose?
I like long tossing.
That's like working out. So hobby in Italian, the word for it is passatempo, which means like pastime. Yeah. So I don't really like to. My dad brought up a good point to me one time. He's like, "Well, then it's not a hobby if you're doing it for a purpose." But I don't. I don't believe in that. I believe I'm gonna do something, but in return, I might get something out of it too.
Yeah. I think all my hobbies revolve around getting better at baseball in a way.
Awesome. That's the main goal. Everything I do is gonna resort back to that. I don't believe in passing time. I hate killing. Someone says, "How do we kill 2 hours?" I hate burning. I hate burning my life like that.
Yeah.
Killing. I hate that when somebody says that.
Yeah. People will say, let's kneel at the period, things like that.
Wait, what?
Kneeling at the period, like in football when you knee out the game, like how to kill time in a way.
Yeah, I mean in football that's like strategic, like.
No, I'm talking about like how people reference that on like.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Get out of things.
Yeah, you're just like wasting time. I'm sure somebody else would love to have that time. Love to have the ability to do what you're not.
Yeah, people are gonna want to be in your situation.
That was a good quote.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
People are gonna want to be in your situation no matter what you have. You shouldn't waste your time. You should have everything having a purpose, wanting to do something, and not wanting to waste time.
Yeah. Do you know that's the reason I started calisthenics?
Really?
I was looking for a purpose. I was looking how do I get better at baseball? How do I increase? I actually use more specifically. How do I increase my exit velocity? So there's two ways to get better at.
One more bite of broccoli.
Baseball. Yeah, mass. But there's like two things: either mechanics or force.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was like, okay, let's get some force. So that's why I chose the hobby of calisthenics. And because super easy, I can do it in my room at night at 1 o'clock in the morning, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna stop. No one could stop me. No one even knows.
Yeah.
Until they see me getting jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like another hobby I picked up, I've been trying to work on is like how fast I type. Because it makes school assignments go so much quicker.
Yeah.
Like or notes in class.
I did that back in like the first grade where I was like trying to type like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious really fast.
No, I'm just saying, like, I learned that skill. So in class, when I'm taking notes, I can just be like that.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. It's like, efficiency. Efficiency.
Yeah.
That's all we have to say on that topic.
That's all it.
I think this was a very successful podcast.
That was great again.
I don't think we put any filler in there.
Not whatsoever.
I think we are allowed to use those guidelines and build a podcast off of them and let the conversation flow naturally.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was a bad thing mentioning that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you present something in class, you have a slideshow, but you're not reading off it. Ideally. Yeah. I mean, it's best to go blind, but in an hour podcast, it's pretty hard to go blind.
Yeah.
You have to have some sort of plan. We just wrote our plan down.
You know, like, you gotta have a game plan.
Yeah. You can't fail to prepare. Nah. Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Speech impediment just came out right there.
Yeah, that was scary. Yeah, you know, like, I don't think, you know, coach is going to be walking out with, you know, his little paper with his whole game plan. But, you know, he has that.
He knows. I want to run this play, but I don't have all the reasoning,
Yes.
Yeah, that's all done in practice.
Yeah.
That's all done when we're in the troubleshoots,
Yep.
All right. Well, day 2. Well, podcast, not day 2, but podcast 2.
Are we ending it like the last time through a pencil?
How do we end it? We do a pencil last time?
No, we were just naming like random things to do to end the podcast.
How do we end the podcast? See, this is what we're talking about. Like us still being new. Like we don't know how to start. We don't know how to end. We don't know how to transition. But the topics
I know how to end it.
Oh, you know how to, I'll just hit this button right now.
It's not a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. All right, get out of here. I'm ending.